Good evening, our dear viewers. It's good to have you yet another Sunday evening. It is our pleasure to have you here tuned in on Occupy today. We are looking forward to an amazing discussion this evening, and I'm looking forward to your engagement. I'm looking forward to questions. We're looking forward to comments. We're looking forward to learn from our amazing guests this evening. And I welcome you all. And it's good to know that you're there. You're there tuned in to hear from us and us to hear from you. So engage as much as you can. We are excited this evening to host this show on Hope TV, the leading Christian station. So most welcome to Occupy today. This program that brings you insights, that brings you knowledge, that brings you experiences that our business people have had to grow you and to position you as a business person in the world today. A world that is filled with so much setbacks, a world that is filled with so many dynamics that would cause you to be, to set back and to be, and to get lost. But we are hoping that we will inspire you. We are hoping that we will grow you to the next level. So most welcome. Sit, don't touch that dial. Sit back, relax. Enjoy the show, engage with us. We are looking forward to having you this evening. My name is Sarah Kajuju. I am a growth coach, and I have the privilege this evening to be joined by two young people. You guys are young. I see you're young, right? I have this privilege to host these two who will discuss with us setbacks in business. And because they have been in business, I'm really looking forward to learn from you guys, you Armstrong, as well as you Anne. So most welcome. Let's enjoy ourselves even as we delve deeper into this topic of setbacks in business. And because I have learned that you guys have been in business, I'm really hoping that you can unveil the setbacks that you have gone through and our viewers can be able to learn from us. So I want to give an opportunity to you to introduce yourself. They say ladies first, but I think we can have the man before. He's the only man here to introduce himself. So Armstrong, karibu sana, introduce yourself. Tell us what you do, where you've been, why you do what you do. All to the glory of God, right?
Amen.
Karibu, Armstrong.
Thank you, Sarah, for having me. I've been looking forward to this for some time. My name is Hamstone Masambaga. Kenyan, of course. Sometimes, sometimes people that think that I'm not Kenyan, but I'm fully Kenyan. I own and run a company called Hama Safaris Limited. It's a Kenyan registered company. We started in 2020 during the height of Corona, by the way. Yes, when people were telling us not to start businesses at that time. So I remember when we started, it was during the time when people are not traveling. So technically there was no business. So what am I starting even? So, but I remember there's a sermon that was preached by actually David Oginde. And one of the things that he was really repeating was a Luo word called chaka chaka. Some of you will remember that. It means just start.
Just start. Just begin.
Just start.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know what happens when you start. Until you start, that's when you know what will happen.
Yeah.
So out of that, push, we started off, and we've been in business for now 3 years. Yes.
Yeah.
Now we've grown to a team of 3 people. My team members are actually watching right now, and I'm glad they are.
I'm glad. I'm so sure. I like the way you're so sure that they are watching.
Oh yeah, they are.
They are.
They're going to embarrass me tomorrow.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Great, great. Really nice to have you, Armstrong, on this program tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you, and most welcome. I'm glad to hear that you began in the height of real setbacks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll talk more about that later on.
Yeah.
But yes, we started when there was actually a
real
setback.
humongous setback.
Yeah, that was literally killing businesses.
I know.
But you know what? Faith also comes in play.
It prevails.
Yeah.
Oh wow, lovely. Karibu sana. It's good to have you tonight.
It's good to.
Yeah, let's see how this pans out. Karibu sana. Mary mchana na nauliza si usiku.
Ni mchana.
Ni mchana.
Mchana kabisa. I'm very grateful for you, Madam Sarah. My name is Anne Gandu Mchana, and I'm here. I own Think Liquid Distributors. we distribute all liquids. We distribute soft, not hard. We distribute
I'm glad to hear that.
for the glory of God. We only distribute the soft ones. So we do distribute processed juices and fresh juices. And we do also soft like sodas, Coca-Cola. We also do water. And now what we're doing, we are branding for the people like banks, seminars, and we also do birthdays. We brand for the birthdays. You buy water, we brand for you. That is what we are technically doing.
Wow.
So I'm here to talk to people and tell them in business there's also a setback. I've been in this business for the last 9 years.
9 years.
But for the glory of God, through the setbacks, I'm more stronger than I started.
I can imagine.
Yes.
You know, I'm glad you're actually bringing that up.
Yes.
Because I'm a firm believer that setbacks come to make us stronger.
Yes.
And especially if you have the attitude of utilizing your stumbling blocks
Yes.
to actually be your stepping stones to the next level.
That's true.
So this is the discussion we're having tonight, dear viewers. And we are hoping that you will indulge with us even as we begin and as we, move on. Please keep it right there and engage us with your questions, with your comments. These two and myself as well, we've been in business, we've tested it. I can tell you it is good.
Yeah.
But I can also tell you that problems, challenges, setbacks can pull you down and they can make you feel like there is no tomorrow. But when you know that you can surmount them, that you can arise and dust yourself and keep moving, it becomes easier. And so just to begin right where you were, Armstrong, beginning at the height of COVID being a global, humongous, very big setback that we all went through. What sort of inspiration is that you had? But also, what did this mean for you in terms of, yes, here is a big stumbling block, but I must begin?
Now, oftentimes when, setbacks come, unfortunately, people tend to shut down. And not only shut down physically, the business, they actually just shut down emotionally, which, of course, again, we'll explore that later. Now, for me, I had been working before for some time, and I realized I needed something that would, create jobs, number one, and also be able to feed myself. Because, if people are losing jobs at that time, it meant that you had to be creative enough to go out there and actually start looking for money to feed yourself. That is one of the reasons I started the business. Now, Corona, it affected everyone. And unfortunately, the highest percentage of, the negative, effect that Corona had was on the travel industry. Some of the businesses that have been in the industry for, say, even 20 years had to shut down. Some of the businesses had to, to scale down.
Yeah,
they had to let people go. Yes. They had to cut off salaries by 50%. Some had to cut off by 50%.
Yeah.
And that was crazy. That was a crazy time. But you see, now, fortunately for me, I was just starting off because, well, I was thinking, I didn't have so many expenses at the time. So my only expense was probably marketing, getting my name out there. So, which is now easier now because there's social media all over.
Yeah.
So, and social media apparently has become so free. So, and again, I talk to people, I introduce myself to people one-on-one. I love that and I enjoy that. So it did not have to take so much effort to build structures that will work later on once Corona has, left or subsided or something like that. So the urge to start me off was based on the need for my own survival, that's number one, and the need for other people's survival.
Wow.
Because I wanted to create jobs, basically. I wanted to create a living for other people.
Wow.
That's why I ended up.
I like it that you actually thought even beyond yourself. It's not just about me creating my own job.
Yeah.
It's also others benefiting from it. How amazing. And I can only imagine them thinking this is a setback, yes, but this is the right time. I love the fact that you say you had all the space. to do your marketing, you know. And I think it created some sort of freedom for you to move and keep moving. You're saying that social media, or is it marketing, became so
easy and
free,
Yeah.
you know, because I think technology became such a big thing for everybody at that moment. Wow, wow, wow. How about you, Anne? When you first began and even as you have moved on,
Yeah.
is there one of those setbacks that has come your way and you almost could think, this one
Yes.
will make me break down, will make me shut down?
Yeah.
And would you want to tell us about it?
Yes, I would like to tell you, and also tell my viewers about it. I've been in this business for quite some time, and it came a time where when you bring the product from the factory and then you put it to the market, now the owner tries now to take it from the other angle. When you've already put the product in the market, now the owner takes it off from there. That's a setback now from the manufacturer. Here I have a team, because also I'm based on having a team whereby we do the market of your product, we take it to the field, we take it to the wholesalers, we take it to the retailers, we take it everywhere you want it to be. And after that, the setback comes that now the owner of the product wants to sell it direct to the wholesalers, wants to sell it direct to the retailers, wants to do a van selling, and now sends maybe the drivers to go and collect the numbers, and now there you are, you've taken a lot of time, you have a big team, and now they're scaling you down.
My. Is there no sort of agreement on how these things are done? I don't know, I'm green. At the onset, how
Yes.
do you agree that I will be selling this thing on your behalf?
Yes.
And then someone wants to take over again. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Uh-huh.
I do. There's an agreement, but as time goes, when we started, it was very firm. And when we're doing, I remember I had a case with the distribution of another bank, which I cannot mention. I was doing a distribution direct to the banks, and now the owner went direct to the bank. He wanted now to do it personally, claiming on other things like saying maybe I'm not doing returns, I'm not doing this. You know, when you see you being a manufacturer, you feel that you're so big, but you need a connector.
I know.
You need a connector to put your products in
Out
the
there.
market, out there. So that guy moved on and took the business, and I was left there not knowing what next. What next? So those were the challenges. And breaching the contract, yes, they breached the contract, but now them being now the so-called the big guys, you cannot walk far with them.
I know. They'll swallow you, the
Yeah,
small
they'll
fish,
swallow
right?
you. You're a small fish.
know.
They'll just swallow you. And there you are, you just lose the business.
Yeah.
But the trust I have in God, God has really made me bounce back again.
Indeed,
Bounce back
indeed,
again. And I'm happy for
indeed.
that.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
And you can imagine now, out of fear, you would even shut down.
Yes.
But thanks be to God who tells us, fear not,
Yes.
for I am with you.
Yes.
Do not be dismayed, for I am your
Yes.
God. I will
Yes.
strengthen you and help you.
It's true.
I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Isn't that
That's
the
true.
righteous right hand of God?
Yeah.
Who will uphold you as a business person even when you're looking at this big fish
Yes.
about to swallow you and there is nothing you can do?
Yeah.
But the Lord fights our battles, doesn't
true.
he?
That's
I
true.
can only imagine for you, business person, who's going through some setbacks and you're looking around you, you don't even know where to go. You have no outlet. You do not know what door you can walk out through because the setbacks, the challenges, the problems are too much. We are here this evening to tell you that it can be done, that yes, we go through setbacks, but God fights our battles.
Yeah.
As business people, you can, you're even looking for solutions in the list of places. Why? Because the setback is too huge.
Yeah.
It's too big. But we are here as testimonies that
Yes.
indeed God fights our battles. Setbacks are bound to be there, but I also want to believe that the builders as business people.
Yeah.
And I want to move on to another level and ask,
Yes.
even as we look at these setbacks to build us and to make us better, what are some of the lessons that you have learned, probably with the example of a challenge that you went through, and you actually look back and say, thanks be to God for bringing this stumbling block my way. Otherwise, I would have been at this point,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Armstrong?
Yeah. One of the things that, one of the benefits, so to speak, of setbacks is that they sharpen you, they strengthen you, you
Yeah.
become a hardcore in business.
True.
You know, now you're able to, you're ready, you're able to face challenges when they come. So whatever, of course, there are many setbacks, and I don't know if you can explore some of those setbacks in the business, but they're both either internal or external.
Yeah.
For instance, internal setbacks usually affect the business operational point of view, where things that affect you internally, either your staff, yourself, how operations are run internally. External are those things that you cannot control, things that are out there. Now, most of the times, the things that are out there that affect your business, those are the ones that strengthen you. Now, when the storm comes and you find a way creatively to get out of it, it prepares you for the next storm. Okay? Now, unfortunately, Kenyans, we don't know how to prepare. Not Kenyans per se, but most of us don't know how to prepare, really. When it comes, that's when we are dealing with it.
Yeah.
But if you want to really prevail, if you really want to get ahead of things,
Yeah.
once that storm comes for the first time, pick up all the lessons that you can.
Yes.
Pick them up. When the next storm comes, you're able to apply these lessons that you learned before to deal with that storm.
I know.
Yeah. So, yes, so you have to be keen. Of course, you cannot prepare for the unknown.
I know.
You just have to be ready. You have to be ready to hit it.
Face it.
To face it, yeah.
Yes.
You can't say that if that comes, I'll deal with it this way.
I know.
What if it comes and it comes in a different shape?
And it's likely to
Oftentimes
come
it
in a
does.
different shape, you know?
If it comes in a different shape, you need to be ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the storms and the setbacks will make you harder, which is good for business.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to fight. It's a jungle. I call it Shamba ya Mawe. Nairobi. Shamba ya Mawe. You have to be hard. You have to dig harder for you to actually make it.
I can imagine. In fact, as you speak, I'm thinking things, tax things, stuffing things, even getting your product into the market for the first time, a market that you've never faced before.
True.
You've not even validated this product. It's a new product. You don't know whether you'll get a buyer who will believe in your product. And it can be such a challenge. It can be a real Shamba ya Mawe, you know?
It is.
Yeah? But you're also reminding me of that little poem that somebody says, Lord, there are things that I may not change. There are things that I can change. Help me to
change the things that I can change.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And help me to know the difference between those ones that I can change and the ones that I cannot change. Because there are things that you cannot change in business.
Yeah.
You know, for example, tax, it's there.
It's
you have
there.
to pay it.
True, true.
Yeah.
You have
Yes,
to.
you have to. After all, this is Caesar. You give to him what belongs to him, you know.
True, true.
But oftentimes somebody will be running away from that and saying, this will kill my business, this is taking me down, and forgetting that these are things that need to be done for you to move forth. And looking at it like a real big challenge, whereas sometimes it may be a blessing hidden in that challenge, you know.
Yeah.
How about you, Anne?
Yes.
Is there a challenge that has come your way, and probably you can even mention it? Maybe it's the loss of a staff who went to the competitor and you're left there thinking, so what next? But had that not happened, you would not be the person you are today.
That's true.
Has that come to happen for you at any point of your business?
Yes.
Very well.
Let me share it so briefly. There was a time I had mixed business and personal family life. And I remember my former church, there's a Pastor Bishop Bosco, who was preaching, and he was talking about bedroom destroyers. Bedroom destroyers. People who are hidden, people whom you have given your heart, people whom you have opened up so much. You have, you know, in business, there are those staff can know your tactics. Those staff, you train them to show them, this is the way. If I'm not here, you can do this, and then we reach this level. So there was that time I was betrayed. I was so much betrayed in business, and I really felt so bad by family. Family, I introduced my business to my family. I gave them opportunity to be there for me and to also help themselves. But they got all the tactics and they moved on to a neighbor, a competitor, and now talking all other things. And everybody embraced what they were saying. And now it really had hitted me so much.
I can imagine.
It really hitted me so much. I really felt bad. But who is God who can just give you another chance to do it again and forgive your brother and move on, forgive your sister, forgive your neighbor, forgive your family, and move on to another level. Because God was preparing me for another level which I never knew. Another level of interacting with other people and making the same business but in a different shape.
Yeah.
I reshaped my business. I reshaped the way I started. And now I started doing it in a different way, whereby what they were doing, it was by then. And now I'm doing it another way, and I made more profit even before, even before I started it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look at that. Yes, just before we come to you, Hamston.
Yes.
I'm actually just thinking about what you're saying, and I'm thinking,
Yes.
hadn't you gone through that, you wouldn't have thought that there are other ways of doing it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have thought of blowing it up and bringing it
in
out in a bigger and better way.
Yes.
But thanks be to God for that.
Yes.
Shortcoming that you went through. Thanks be to God for your relatives going to betray you and taking off, you know?
Yes.
That opened up your eyes.
Yes.
It's amazing, isn't it, Hamston?
Yeah.
It is.
And maybe just to add on what she says, one of the blessings that we have as entrepreneurs is the ability to be creative, is the ability to be creative in getting solutions to our problems. Now, one of the solutions that you can apply with staffing mostly is you employ abilities that you cannot automate. You employ skills that you cannot automate. Now, for example, you can automate accounting. You don't need an accountant. Well, you do need an accountant for auditing stuff like that.
Yes.
You'll be stoned. my accounting brother.
Yeah, so you need there's some skills that you can automate.
I agree with you totally.
Yeah, so those skills that you cannot automate,
Yes.
you can employ them.
Yes.
And if you can't do them yourself, and also if you can afford them.
Yes.
Because I mean, you pay for it.
Yes.
You pay for it.
Yeah.
So one of the solutions you can apply in staffing, employ skills that you can't automate.
You can't automate, and also you do not have.
Yeah.
Exactly.
People who complement you, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you're a marketer, you actually don't need another to begin with.
I don't.
Maybe when the business grows and the demand is bigger.
Yeah.
But I think to begin with, it's good to begin at where you are with the skills you have.
Yes.
With the experiences you have, and build on them as you go on, isn't it? Thank you, dear viewers, for being there. I'm sure you're learning. I'm sure you're enjoying our interaction this evening. Please keep it right there, and keep your SMSs as well as your views, your feedback. Keep it coming on Hope TV_Kenya on Twitter and Hope TV Kenya on Facebook. But also your SMSs on 22232. Keep them coming. We're waiting to hear from you. We want to engage some more. You are our dear viewers this evening, and we're glad that you're there. Back to you, Anne.
Yes.
I am still stuck at your business having grown for 9 years now.
Yes.
And I am so sure that it hasn't been a smooth ride. 9 years is a long time.
It's a very long time.
I look at 9 years from the perspective of my little son, who is now 9 years.
Yes.
And I can tell you that's a really long time.
It's true.
I know that there are seasons of good times
Yes.
and bad times.
True.
I can only imagine, for example, your first time in business, having to figure out the terrain of business, having to figure out who you can trust and who you cannot trust, having to figure out what is expected of you by the government, in terms of paperwork that you need to do, having to figure out who can work for you and who has the skills and the knowledge that you're in need of, but also having to figure out what dynamics work for you within the business in terms of operations.
It's true.
What are some of the setbacks that have brought you up and have made the business, have defined the business in such a way that you look back and say, indeed, this is what has shaped my journey of 9 years.
Yes.
Yes. I'm sure you can pick on a few of those. And I can probably give an example of myself.
Yes.
My recruiting business.
Yeah.
My business has always been there for a very long time, the last 15 or so years,
Yeah.
doing training, coaching, and all these things. But the bit of recruitment came over COVID, just like you. And for me, it was born out of people
Creativity
looking.
again.
Yes, creativity again. Indeed, necessity is the mother of invention. And so I wake up and I'm thinking, this is something people need. And there are so many people who are unemployed. I can actually create an employment like you.
Yes.
So I'm looking at it from the perspective of youth employment.
Yes.
But I'm also looking at it from people who need helps in their homes, because
Yeah.
I had been there, I had suffered this, and I needed somebody to really help me at home.
Yeah.
True.
And then I jump in, and then partnering with the wrong person.
True.
This is the crux of it. Partnering with a person
Yeah.
who will not disclose all information on the table.
Yeah.
True.
Then I realized this is not going down the right road. And one day I just wake up and leave her with everything, and I walk out, went and rented like a little office,
Yeah.
very little office.
Yes.
And there I began. And looking back for me, I can say this is what has shaped my recruiting journey. So for you,
Yeah.
what are those setbacks for the last 9 years that have shaped your journey in your business?
There are so many, but let me mention a few. The one I've mentioned about the family, and then that one is okay. But there's this one now, upcoming companies. Upcoming companies.
Competition.
Yes, upcoming companies, they just come with goodies, they come with, they brand you, they brand your team, they take you out. When they finish, they just take the business and just go there. So one day I just sat down and said, what am I going to do? And now what am I going to do at least to make another step in my business so that I can continue earning more and also create employment for the young people who are ready and people who trust in me. Because the young people, they do sales and they do market of the same product. So I met a guy who introduced me into taking product from outside the country and now bringing them into the country specifically for manufacturers now. The ones who are betraying me, now I had an idea now to bring the product to them now. So that I bring the fresh product to them. Like there's another company, I was bringing fresh pineapples for them so that they can process and do the pulp and do the juices and sell it out.
Yes.
So now that one shaped me to move another higher notch to make more money through importing and bringing the product to them. So that they do it and now they continue selling themselves, but me, I'm bringing to them that product.
Yes.
Another one, time to time I was going to meetings, conferences, weddings, and these parties, birthday. So I had an idea of now branding the event. If it's a birthday, I take the bottle of water, I brand it. If it's a graduation, I brand it. So I started branding the waters and branding the product to the event. Like today we are having Occupy Today. I brand maybe the bottle of water we are using here so that, okay, fine, I'll sell it, have money, also you consume it. So all of us, we are gaining in another way.
Definitely.
We are gaining in
It's a
another way.
win-win
It's a win-win,
situation.
yes. Like now, marathon, you brand it. The sponsors of maybe marathon, you brand it. You brand all those who are supposed to facilitate the marathon, and that one made me have another idea and moved on and also gained more momentum. And here I am standing and saying, really, God is always on my side.
I tell you,
Yes,
isn't he?
God is always on my
Amidst
side.
the challenges, yeah?
Yes, yes.
And you can imagine if it had been all smooth, you wouldn't even be inventing. You wouldn't even bring on the innovation that you're bringing.
True.
That is causing you to do that branding and do other things out of what you have learned.
Yes.
And the challenges that you're going through, isn't it?
It's true.
Oh, wow. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I think we take a break now.
Thank you.
We take a breath, kidogo, and then we come back for another few minutes.
Yes.
And I'm sure our dear viewers, you will keep it right there so that we continue to learn and we continue to hear from our guests this evening. They're filled with a lot of information and knowledge that they have gathered over the years. You can hear 9 years and 3 years. And I'm sure it's not 3 years, just 3 years, because you came from somewhere, right? So keep it right there. We will be interacting some more in a few. Thank you very much.
Hope TV is where you look and live, with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries, with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station, with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
1 Thessalonians chapter number 5, verse 17. Pray without ceasing, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you.
On Watch and Pray, we pray for you and with you regarding your prayer requests, our nation, and the whole world.
There's this one who is saying there's a marriage separation in marriage, but let's pray for the babies and then restore also. Father God Almighty.
Join Mama Eda Adoyo on Watch and Pray every Monday from 7:30 p.m. live on Hope TV, where you look and live.
Thank you for keeping it right there, dear viewers. We are excited to have you this evening. We carry on with our discussion on setbacks in business because let me tell you, having been in business for quite a number of years, I can tell you setbacks, challenges, problems can draw you out of business, can kill you. But with the grace that God has availed for us, with the mercies of God, and with the knowledge of Him who called you into that business, you actually can go to the other side and say, I'm glad I went through this challenge. Why? Because when God sends this, He sends them for a reason. It's not to kill you, it's to make you better. It's not to weaken you, it's not to pull you down. It is to make you better. It is to teach you a lesson or the other, just like you guys are telling us this evening.
Yes.
That there are lessons that you have carried from those setbacks that you have gone through. So, dear viewers, please be with us this evening, even as we get to the second half of this show. I'm hoping that you will engage us again on Hope TV _Kenya, as well as Hope TV Kenya on Facebook. Please be there as we continue. Armstrong, I am sure there is a way that you have, I don't know whether there is a method you have devised of surmounting these challenges or of dealing with the issues that you go through. Is there a formula? Or how does it happen? I mean, you have this setback today, you have another one tomorrow. Is there a particular way of dealing with these challenges? Or does it just happen naturally? I don't know. Tell us, from your experience, what have you seen?
Again, I am still very young in business. I envy these two ladies, 9 years and 15 years in business. So 3 years is not yet.
You're there.
You're there.
You're there.
Like we said, you began somewhere. It's
Yeah,
not
of
like
course.
you woke up or
Out
came
of the
from your
blue.
mother's womb and then began business.
Oh, she's actually watching.
Oh, nice.
She's
Lovely.
calling me online. Now, there is no formula, to deal with all problems. There's no specific formula to deal with all setbacks. All different setbacks come with different clothes and, there's a way that we deal with each one of them separately. So I'm reminded in the Bible, there's a passage in the Bible in Luke chapter 5 where Jesus is selecting his disciples, the first disciples. And he goes near a boat, and these guys have been fishing all night. They haven't caught one fish. And he goes to the boat, and he preaches. He takes the boat, rides it kidogo, and he preaches. He preaches. After preaching, he tells Peter and the other guys to throw the net a little bit deeper, Now, I thought about it. I thought about that verse, and I was like, okay, maybe the strategies that we use in our businesses are not working, even as long as we've been in business. So you've been in business, say, for 10, 20, 50 years, or 15, or 3, or 2, or 1, but there's a strategy that we've been using that is not giving you fruit, or it's not bringing growth, so to speak, in the business. So you are just, your scale is just this. If it goes up, kidogo inanguka. You're not soaring up, or
You're not scaling.
you're not scaling
moving
up.
Yeah.
So I'm reminded of that verse because sometimes the strategies that we use in our businesses may not necessarily work to our expectations. Like these guys have been fishing all night. Of course, they're tired in the morning.
Yeah.
But you see, when the beauty is they obeyed. The Bible says they obeyed Jesus,
Jesus, yes.
and threw the nets.
Yeah.
And they caught fish. 2 boats were actually sinking.
Yeah.
So when we, one of the things we can do in our businesses is have, number one, you can have mentors who can help you, because mentors see beyond what you can see.
Yeah.
They have gone through some of the things that you're going through in the business.
Yes.
So have these people who can be able to see the future and tell you, if you practice this and this and this, you might be able to cover some of the problems that you have.
Yes.
So that is one of the things you can do. The first thing prior to having mentors is, number one, accept that you've already had a setback. That is, the people who stay in denial for a long time,
Yeah.
they end up forgetting that I need to progress.
To
Yes.
move on, yeah.
Yeah, I need to move on.
Yeah.
Again, that's number 2. After you accept, you need to move on.
Yeah.
Number 3, of course, now assess the problem, find solutions. Find where the problem was. Was it with the staff? Was it the product? Was it a customer? Was it your supplier? Was it whoever, that might have been a key player in that deal. So that you're able to find solutions around those key players.
I hear you.
Yeah, and then once you've found solutions, you need to move on. You need to let bygones be bygones. If it's responsibility you need to take up, please do. And especially as the leader, because you're the vision bearer in the business. So especially as the leader, you need to pick yourself up and move on.
Move on.
And move.
That's true.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, because you can remain there and die there, you know?
True.
Yeah, why?
True.
Because challenges come with sort of a pool
Yeah.
that can keep you there and that can drain your
Drains,
energy. Oh my. It can get really messy.
It does.
But when in fact, one of the other things probably just to add on to your list is removing yourself from the problem.
Yeah.
Because I think to get a proper perspective of what is happening,
You need to see.
you need to see it from a distance.
True.
You don't need to be in the mess, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and having been in some of these challenges, for example, those ones to relate with the relatives or
Yeah.
friends or very close people, you have to remove yourself from it so that then you see it from another perspective.
Another angle,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. But now, my question again would be, and probably we can come back to this even as I speak to Anne next, is there a straight jacket approach to dealing with problems? Or each problem has a particular way of approaching it? And probably you can take up that, Anne.
Yeah.
From your experience,
Yes.
staffing, this time, one of your workers probably left, no warning, no nothing, and she's a key worker, and they have left and they are not to come back, and in the morning probably you're also busy with other things, you're not able to replace them immediately.
Yes.
That is a setback. And yet still there's another time another worker resigns, but it's not under the same circumstances.
Yes.
Is it the same approach to dealing with these setbacks, or is it different, one from the other?
To me, every setback, I treat it differently. Because the way somebody maybe engaged you and you started the journey is different from the other one. And the way that person works, he works in a different field, and this one works in a different field. So if it's coming from my family, or if it's coming from my friend, first, I'll tell that person, we keep the friendship, and now let's do business, or you keep off from this department, and we move on so that we can as well continue being friends, but stop this one. Continue being family members, and stop this one. Continue being my sister, my brother, my husband, but this one, no. In business, we should have to separate, the way Jesus did it. Jesus had the 12 disciples, and in the 12 disciples, he had the three key ones. He went up in the mountain to pray with them. But when he saw them, they were there sleeping, he went ahead to just segregate himself and talk to the Father and speak more about the disciples and the people who, the job God assigned him to come and do. Now, to me, such setbacks, you can just go sit alone, start a new strategy alone, and now implement it day in, day out, and now choose from the group who is now ready to do it and who is not ready to do it. Regarding that we are related, regarding that we are friends, regarding that you came there, maybe you had nothing, you had lost your job, you have a family, you have kids to pay school fees, whatever, you had a wife to take care of. Now you've not respected the job, you've moved out to another company, I will not force you to come back.
I hear you.
Even companies which they went direct, maybe there are some I was doing maybe supplying to a company, and now they went direct. It's not that a must I have to go there. Because I remember another setback came, and then an Indian man, I went there looking for distribution. That Indian man told me, what are you doing here? I told him, I came just here to look for if I can get a chance to distribute this product to your company.
Yes.
He told me, do you have kids? Then I told him, why am I looking for that job? He gave me the opportunity to do that job. Now, when the company went, the owner went there to take the job from my hands, he said, okay, you want to take out from this lady? You go out. He gave me another chance to bring the same product, but from a different company. To deliver the same product,
Yes.
distribute the same
Same
product,
product, but from a different.
but from a different company. You see? Now, that one was how we started it. How did we start this thing? We started it as in he wanted to help me distribute in the same plant, the same factory, because I had my personal hidden problems and hidden agendas. Now, that's how even us, we approach them. We approach them as they come.
Yes.
The way you came to me, now I talk to you. If you listen, I give you another chance.
I hear you.
If you don't take it the way we started it, now you can move on the way you came.
hear you.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's different for every occasion.
Every
It is,
setback.
Yeah, you say.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other day I had somebody who was asking about a very key staff, of a very, very key staff in their organization.
Okay.
But this girl was becoming a bit toxic in the way they were dealing with the rest of the staff. And he had a decision to make on whether to let them go, on whether to retain them. But remember, this is a very key staff, number one.
Yeah.
But then again, remember, they are destroying the rest of the team with their toxicity. So he has to decide which way to go.
Yeah.
And of course, it wouldn't have been the same if it was just another staff who is not as key as this one.
Yes.
This one you would let them go very easily, but this one you have to balance and you have to know how to go about it. So indeed, challenges come and they will not stop coming,
Yeah.
but somehow you have to devise a way of dealing with each of them.
True.
But I think another thing probably you can mention about is the place of prayer.
True.
is the place of allowing God to have his way in all these setbacks that we go through.
That's true.
Proverbs 3:16. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and
Yes.
lean not on your own understanding.
That's true.
Sometimes you may be looking at this problem, at this setback, and the way you're seeing it is not the way God sees it.
True.
So there's that place of involving God, because he says, your ways acknowledge him and he will make your path straight.
Yeah.
So where is that place? And how then do we, as business people, balance it out with seeking the knowledge, the wisdom, the will of God in this? Armstrong?
I love that you've brought that up. There's a friend of mine, he's a lawyer. Recently, I was talking to him and I was telling him, he asked me how business is doing. And I told him, tunaomba sana, tunafanya kazi. And he told me, but if you pray and you don't do the work, you're not going to make money. Pray and then go to work. Yes, I love that. Now, of course, the Bible instructs us to pray without ceasing.
Yeah.
And, in all situations.
Aspects.
And business is one of those situations. You pray, number one, for wisdom to run the business, because
Yes.
it's not your business, by the way.
I know.
Because
You're only a custodian.
True.
Yeah.
I know.
You're reporting to God.
Yes.
Yes.
So number one, of course, pray for wisdom that he guides you in his business. And then when you report to him, you have done what he has asked you to do.
Yes.
Secondly, do the work. Just do the work. Setbacks will come. And I would like to mention something on what you've said.
Yes.
Setbacks will come all the time. It
Yes.
doesn't matter whether your business is 2 months old. It doesn't matter if your business is 1 day old.
I know.
Yeah.
The setback will still come.
Yeah. They will.
Yes. So now, there is no a designed module or lesson on dealing with setbacks. Everyone has their own wisdom and knowledge about it. Now, of course, a place of prayer is critical, and especially if you are a Christian, a place of prayer is critical. You pray concerning your business, you pray concerning your customers, you pray for them. If you can, mention them, by name to God.
Yeah.
Yeah, so prayer is critical in all the stages of our businesses.
Yeah.
Whether you're starting and God has given you the vision, ride on it. Whether you are at 50 years old with the business,
Yeah.
keep praying, because he's the one who's sustaining the business.
True.
With the wisdom that he's giving you, he's the one sustaining the business.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So there's no one way to deal with challenges, but in every season, when you put prayer and action, because faith without action, again,
Yes.
dead. When you mix up prayer and action, you're going to get the solutions. And more so for a Christian who is in business.
Wow.
Because that is also your mission field.
Indeed.
You should remember that.
Yeah.
That your workplace is also your mission field. You're touching lives. You're literally, when you pay salaries, you're literally paying livelihoods
Yeah.
to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you
Indeed.
pay salaries, you're making someone buy supper that night.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Wow. Lovely. And thank you, our viewers. Thank you, Armstrong, for that. And Anne as well. We see your comments coming in and your questions as well, and we're glad that you're there. There is somebody celebrating you, Armstrong, tonight. His name is Football Entertainment. Yes, he's glad that you're doing that. Frida Miriti, I see your comment that you're tuned in, and it's lovely to see you, Madam Sarah Mimi Sasa. Mentor, life coach, Jirani, and the list is endless. I see your thumbs. Frida, please keep moving and keep it right there. Jacqueline Kimaita, I see your comment as well that you're watching. Please keep it right there. This one with the 0769 ending with 406, you say, quite insightful. You're a business consultant, and I'm sure you're also learning, even as we also learn from you. Yes, seeking the Lord is key in every business, because God gives you wisdom and direction on how to go about it. Emma of Emma's Uji Flower. Love what you're doing, Sarah. Thank you very much for that comment, Emma. Please keep it right there. And the rest of you that are watching tonight, please keep your questions as well as comments coming, because we are here for you. We are here to equip you for better business in this space that God has given you. And just like Armstrong is noting, you and I are custodians of what God has given you.
True.
Or God has given us. He has given you that business. He has given me my business. And our business is God's business. And therefore, we cannot remove God from it. We must pray, like you say.
Yeah.
We must seek the Lord.
True.
What has that looked like for you? How do you seek God with your team, even as you are able to deal with the setbacks that come your way every day, Anne?
Normally, my team, all of them are younger than me. They are very energetic. So I normally start with the word of prayer. And when we finish everything we are doing in the evening, we always close with the word of prayer. And every new team member, we need to know their backgrounds, because some are Muslims, some are Christians. But all in all, we just put God first in everything we do. And in everywhere we go, we keep on encouraging each other. In every setback, we keep on encouraging. Sometimes even they encourage me, Mama, don't worry. Mama, don't worry. Hii product imeingia kwa soko. Tutashughulikia. They give me that morale. They give me that morale. Don't worry, Mama. They call me Mama Maji. Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll make sure we'll tackle the problem and put it at bay. So we encourage each other. They encourage me and I encourage them. And I tell them, steady fast in prayer and never cease in prayer, because God is the key in everything we do. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, sure, Armstrong. Please go right on. Yeah.
One of my staff members, we have been praying, we have been doing some business, and we've been praying a lot. So one of the things we tell each other, tuombe tu kashikane, tuombe tu kashikane. That is what we tell each other. So he works diligently. He's very good at his job. And I love the fact that he has better experience in the industry. My training is actually in procurement. Right, yeah, in campus I did procurement. So I was never trained in the travel, the travel industry. But he has better experience than I have. And again, going back to that point of hiring the skill that you cannot do.
You do not have.
That you do not have. So he understands the logistics, the operations, and I applaud him because he understands the whole thing perfectly.
Yes.
So when we talk about it and I give him work to do, once he does it and he sends it to the customer, for, the quotation, the different stages in the deal. Once he sends it, he tells me, and we are in contact. And every time our conversation is, tuombe tu ishikane.
Kashikane.
Tuombe tu ikashikane. Ikishikana tutakuwa sawa. So again, getting the right people to buy into your vision is very important.
Yes.
Many people will pretend that are buying into your vision, but they want to steal it.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
But if it's God's vision, it's protected.
Yes.
Of course, with prayer and God's wisdom to deal with, how to protect it, so to speak. So yes, people who come into your life, they affect you one way or another. The stuff that you get in your business, they either bring in, a profit or loss. And oftentimes, if you're not careful, they come in at loss. After 2 years of learning every secret that you keep, they steal it from you. Of course. Yeah, so we have to be careful, but we can never anticipate. You just trust, you pray and trust God, and you ask for wisdom on who to give you.
I hear you.
Of course, He will never, now the beauty with us calling the business as our mission field is, number one, you will never, even if you hire 20 people, not all of them are Christians.
True.
Some of them are well and good, but not all of them are Christians. But that is now placing you in a position of the missioner in the marketplace. Now that is your mission field. So you practice the good virtues that come from God. You practice the things that God has given you in that business. Let them see.
Yes.
You know, if it's honesty, if it's openness, you practice all that and let them see.
Wow. Salt and light, right?
Salt and light.
Yeah, let
You
them
don't cover
taste
light.
Yes.
and let them see. Yeah?
Yeah.
And of course, with that, you draw them nearer to God even as you work with them.
Yes.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Now, there is something you mentioned, Armstrong, in terms of some of the ways you've been able to deal with challenges, including mentorship, the mentors that have worked with you over the years, as well as even seeking more knowledge. Today, we have so much knowledge and wisdom out here. And I'd like you guys to tell me, just mention one or two things that you have done, maybe Anne,
Yes.
in terms of equipping yourself and also being able to overcome challenges by mentorship. I
Yes.
don't know whether it's knowledge, you've gone back to school. What are some of the things you have done to be able to overcome these challenges?
Oh, now that's great. Through that, I'm very strong, and I realized where I was not strong, and then I got those setbacks. So I went back to study more about finances, how to control finances, how to invest in finances, how to save my finances, and also to teach the team how to save. When I pay them their salaries, they should know how to save for their future, save for their retirement, save for their benefit, for their families, and for the entire for their entire life. Because I remember when Joseph was in prison, when the king asked him, "Can you interpret my dream?" And then he said, "Okay, I'm seeing about the fat one and the slim ones, the slim ones." That tells us what? It tells us that there's the time of lack. How are you prepared at the time of lack when you don't have strength, when you don't have that money, when you don't have that income, when you don't have that business? Those setbacks have hit you so hard that you cannot even take your kid to school. That setback has hit you so hard that you are retiring as poor as you've never been in business even one day. So I went back and I've done insurance. And now I'm giving them knowledge about insurance, how you can insure the same property, how you can even insure your business, and now talk even to those manufacturers to insure their companies and their staff. You see, that's another mile I've taken.
Yes.
Yes.
Lovely. Great. At least there's something you're doing to
Yes.
equip yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, and there is so much we can do. I know there's so much knowledge out there. There's so much wisdom from people that have gone through it, including mentors, coaches, and other people.
Yes.
And I'm sure it is possible that we can equip ourselves as business people to be able to deal with these challenges, because if it's not in you, you can't give it out.
True.
If you don't have it, you can't give it out.
True.
You may be set back really so bad just because you have not built your muscles to be able to deal with it.
Yeah.
But thanks be to God, because he has availed all these things around us. He has given us people, he has given us knowledge and everything that we need.
Yes.
So to close this off, I would want to just hear a very short parting shot from both of you.
Yeah.
Can you imagine our time is gone?
Very
Has gone
fast.
very fast. So
Very
we
fast.
begin with you, just less than a minute parting shot. Thank you very much.
So parting shot, my parting shot would be, don't worry. I mean, don't worry. Setbacks will come, but don't worry. They'll come, and God will give you the grace and knowledge to tackle them.
Yeah.
Be prepared. By being prepared, I don't mean because you're expecting a certain setback, you should be prepared to deal with that setback. Just have your mind ready, even for your peace of mind. You know, just have your mind ready. That a setback will come, and I'll be able to tackle it. Yeah, learn from it, accept it, find the solutions for that setback. Creatively, wherever the key player, wherever the setback is coming from, there's always a solution around it.
I hear you.
And you will excel. I mean, we have to grow.
Yeah.
We have to grow.
We do have to.
True.
Thank you very much for that.
you.
How about you, Anne? Your parting shot.
Mine is to tell all the viewers, thank you for being with us. And in every setback, there is always a comeback. In every setback, there is always a comeback.
Whoa.
So
I
take
think
note.
Somebody needs to tweet that. Tweet it.
Yes, yeah, there's always a comeback. So
Comeback.
trust in God. Whoever trusts in God, God will always lift your hand up.
Yes.
God will always show you a way. All who trust in God, God will never leave you in vain. So hold on and never stop trusting in God.
Yes.
And everything will be well for those who trust in God.
Indeed.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. It has been amazing. Thank you, our dear viewers, for keeping it right there. Thank you for engaging us. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for being there. We are so glad that you were there to listen to us and to hear the experiences of both Anne and Armstrong. And we are so, so grateful because this would not have been without your presence right there. So looking forward to next week and looking forward to having you in future shows to come because we can't do without you. You need us, we need you, we need each other. But most importantly, as we close, my parting shot would be trust in the Lord with all your heart. When these setbacks come, they will find a place that is ready to fix their eyes on Jehovah. Because he's the one who gave you this. He's the one who will give you whatever it is you need to be able to overcome whatever setbacks that come your way. Remember, life is not life with those setbacks. It makes all the difference when you have the muscle to be able to overcome the setbacks that come your way. So we are so glad that you joined us on Occupy today. Looking forward to next week, same time, same place. Keep it right there. We see you next week. Kwaheri. Thank you very much.